Hi, I'm Melissa. Before I dive into this crazy story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Trust me, you won't want to miss this wild ride. So here's a bit about me. I'm a 38-year-old single mom, working hard as a paralegal to give my daughter, Allison, the best life possible. It's been just the two of us since my ex, Jack, decided that fatherhood wasn't for him when Allison was 5. Fast forward to now. Allison's 17 and the light of my life. She's smart, kind, and beautiful inside and out. When Allison told me about prom, I was over the moon. Mom, Tyler asked me to prom. She squealed after school one day. I hugged her tight and said, "That's amazing, sweetie. We need to find you the perfect dress." Little did I know, that dress would cause more drama than I ever imagined. You see, there's a catch to our little family. My ex-mother-in-law, Barbara, and my ex-sister-in-law, Karen, are still in our lives. Don't ask me why. It's complicated. Let's just say they're about as pleasant as a root canal without anesthesia. When Allison mentioned prom at our monthly family dinner, you should have seen their faces. Barbara pursed her lips. Prom? Isn't that a bit frivolous? Karen chimed in, "Yeah, shouldn't you be focusing on college applications?" I bit my tongue, but Allison, bless her heart, stood her ground. "I can do both, Aunt Karen. I'm excited about prom." The tension was thicker than Barbara's infamous meatloaf. Later, while dress shopping, Allison found this gorgeous blue gown that made her eyes sparkle. "Mom, it's perfect," she gushed. I checked the price tag and winced. It was steep. But seeing Allison's face, I knew it was worth it. "You're going to be the belle of the ball, sweetie," I said, swiping my credit card. When we showed Barbara and Karen the dress, their reactions were interesting. Barbara sniffed. "It's a bit revealing, don't you think?" Karen added, "And that color. It's not really your best, Allison." I saw Allison's face fall and felt my blood boil. "I think she looks beautiful," I said firmly. Over the next few weeks, Allison was all about prom prep. She and her friends were constantly chatting about corsages, limos, and after parties. But every time Barbara or Karen were around, they'd make these little digs. "You're not wearing heels, are you? You'll tower over poor Tyler," Karen would say. Or Barbara would chime in with, "I hope you're not planning on staying out too late. It's not ladylike." I tried to shield Allison from their negativity, but I could see it was getting to her. The night before prom, Allison was a bundle of nerves and excitement. We were doing last-minute prep. Nails, hair, the works. "Mom, what if something goes wrong?" Allison fretted. I squeezed her hand. "Nothing's going to go wrong. Tomorrow's going to be perfect." As I hung up Allison's dress, making sure it was wrinkle-free for tomorrow, I had no idea of the storm that was about to hit. Sometimes the people you think you can trust are the ones you should watch out for the most. I had to run to the store for some last-minute items. Hairspray, bobby pins, you know the drill. Barbara and Karen offered to come over and help Allison with some final preparations. "That's so nice of you," I said, surprised by their sudden enthusiasm. As I left, I saw them heading upstairs with Allison. I should have trusted my gut feeling that something was off, but I pushed it aside, wanting to believe they were finally coming around. Little did I know, that decision would lead to a night I'd never forget, and not in a good way. I rushed back from the store, excited to surprise Allison with her favorite snacks for our prom prep night. As I pulled into the driveway, I noticed Barbara and Karen's cars were still there. Weird, I thought they'd be gone by now. I quietly entered the house, hearing hushed voices, and was that the sound of scissors. My heart started racing as I crept up the stairs. Nothing could have prepared me for what I saw when I pushed open Allison's bedroom door. There, in the middle of the room, stood Barbara and Karen, scissors in hand, surrounded by blue fabric scraps. My daughter's beautiful prom dress lay in ruins on the bed. "What the hell are you doing?" I screamed, dropping the shopping bags. Barbara and Karen whirled around, faces pale. "Melissa, we were just..." Karen stammered. "Just what?" "Destroying my daughter's dress? Have you lost your minds?" I was shaking with rage. Barbara stepped forward, chin raised defiantly. "We're doing what's best for Allison. That dress was inappropriate." "Inappropriate? It's a prom dress, not a stripper outfit." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Karen chimed in. "We were just trying to protect her reputation. You wouldn't understand." Suddenly, memories flooded back. The snide comments about my parenting, the accidental spills on Allison's favorite clothes, the times they'd conveniently forgotten to pick her up from school. It all made sense now. You've always been jealous, I realized aloud. You can't stand to see Allison happy. Barbara scoffed. Don't be ridiculous. We love Allison. Love? This isn't love. This is control and manipulation. I shot back. Just then, I heard a gasp from the doorway. Allison stood there, eyes wide with horror as she took in the scene. My dress, she whispered, tears welling up. I rushed to her side, pulling her into a hug. Oh, sweetie, I'm so sorry. Allison broke down, sobbing. Why would they do this? Grandma, Aunt Karen, how could you? Barbara had the audacity to look offended. We were trying to help, dear. That dress was much too revealing. Get out, I growled, my voice low and dangerous. Get out of my house right now. Karen tried to protest, but we were just. Out, I roared, pointing to the door. As they scurried out, I turned my attention back to Allison, who was still crying. What am I going to do, Mom? Prom's tomorrow, and my dress is ruined. I held her tight, my mind racing. How was I going to fix this? The dress shops would all be closed by now. We'll figure something out, sweetie, I promise, I said, trying to sound more confident than I felt. As I comforted my heartbroken daughter, I knew one thing for certain. Barbara and Karen weren't going to get away with this. They'd finally gone too far, and it was time they faced the consequences of their actions. But first things first, I had a prom dress to magically produce in less than 24 hours. Talk about a mother's worst nightmare. As Allison finally drifted off to sleep, exhausted from crying, I sat at the kitchen table, my mind racing. This wasn't just about a ruined dress anymore. It was about years of manipulation and cruelty. I picked up my phone and dialed Jack, my ex. We need to talk. It's about Allison. 30 minutes later, Jack was at my door, looking concerned. What's going on, Melissa? I filled him in on everything, and his face grew darker with each word. I can't believe my own mother and sister would do this, he said, shaking his head. Believe it. And it's not just this. Remember when Allison didn't get invited to Karen's kids' birthday parties? Or when Barbara accidentally spilled wine on her graduation dress? Jack's eyes widened. You think those were intentional? I know they were, and we're going to prove it. We spent the next few hours calling friends and family, piecing together a pattern of Barbara and Karen's behavior. The stories came pouring in. My friend Lisa chimed in. Remember when Barbara told everyone Allison cheated on that math test? I knew that wasn't true. Jack's cousin Tom added. Karen once told me Allison was spreading rumors about my daughter. I should have known better than to believe her. By morning, we had a list of incidents spanning years. It was time to call in the big guns. I reached out to my old college roommate Sarah, who was now a hotshot lawyer. Sarah, I need your help. We met at a cafe where I laid out everything we'd uncovered. Sarah whistled low. This is some serious stuff, Melissa. We're talking harassment, defamation, maybe even destruction of property with the dress incident. What can we do? I asked. Well, legally we could pursue charges, but given its family, there might be a better way to handle this. That's when the idea hit me. The annual family reunion was coming up in 2 weeks. Everyone would be there. Sarah, what if we expose them in front of the whole family? A slow smile spread across Sarah's face. Now that's an idea I can get behind. Let's plan this out. Over the next few days, while helping Allison prepare for prom, thank God for 24-hour tailors and my emergency credit card, we put our plan into motion. We gathered photos, screenshots of texts, and even security camera footage from my house showing Barbara and Karen with the destroyed dress. Jack reached out to extended family members, subtly ensuring everyone would attend the reunion. Lisa helped us create a slideshow of evidence, while Tom offered to be our tech guy at the reunion. We need to make sure they can't wiggle out of this, I said during one of our planning sessions. Sarah nodded. I've drafted a statement detailing their actions. We'll distribute it to everyone after the presentation. As the day approached, I felt a mix of nervousness and determination. Barbara and Karen had no idea what was coming. The night before the reunion, Allison asked, Mom, are you sure about this? It seems intense. I hugged her tight. Sweetie, sometimes you have to stand up to bullies, even when they're family, especially when they're family. When they're family. Jack chimed in, your mom's right, kiddo. What they did to you is not okay, and it's time everyone knew the truth. Allison nodded slowly. Okay, I trust you guys. As I laid out my outfit for the reunion, I took a deep breath. Tomorrow, everything would change. Barbara and Karen thought they could manipulate and hurt us without consequences. They were about to learn just how wrong they were. Ready for tomorrow? Jack asked as he was leaving. I nodded, a determined glint in my eye. More than ready. It's time to end this once and for all. Let the showdown begin. The day of the family reunion arrived and my stomach was in knots. Allison, Jack, and I arrived early to set up our little presentation with Tom's help. As family members started trickling in, I could see Barbara and Karen, all smiles and hugs like nothing had happened. The sight made my blood boil. Once everyone had arrived, I stood up and cleared my throat. Everyone, if I could have your attention, please. There's something important we need to discuss. Barbara looked confused. Melissa, dear, what's this about? I took a deep breath. It's about the years of manipulation, lies, and cruelty that you and Karen have inflicted on Allison and our family. The room went dead silent. Tom hit the lights, and our slideshow began. Last week, Barbara and Karen destroyed Allison's prom dress. I said as the security footage played. Gasps filled the room. We went through incident after incident, the birthday party snubs, the ruined clothes, the vicious rumors. With each revelation, I could see the shock and disgust growing on everyone's faces. Karen jumped up. This is ridiculous. We've never done anything to hurt Allison. But her protest fell flat as more family members started speaking up. Cousin Rachel chimed in. So that's why you told me Allison couldn't make it to my wedding. You said she was sick. Uncle Steve added. And the time you said Allison was talking bad about my son. That was a lie too. Barbara and Karen's faces were pale, their eyes darting around the room, looking for allies. They found none. Sarah stepped forward, her lawyer mode in full swing. What you've done constitutes harassment and defamation, not to mention the destruction of property. We have grounds for legal action. Barbara scoffed. You wouldn't dare. We're family. I locked eyes with her. Family doesn't do what you've done. You've left us no choice. The fallout was immediate. Other family members started sharing their own stories of Barbara and Karen's manipulations. It was like a dam had broken. In the end, we didn't need to press charges. The family decided on their own to cut Barbara and Karen out. No more invitations, no more contact. Allison's prom night was a triumph. In her new dress, even more beautiful than the first, she was radiant. Mom, she said as she was leaving, thank you for everything. I hugged her tight, fighting back tears. Always, sweetie. I'll always have your back. Later that night, as I reflected on everything that had happened, I realized something important. Standing up to toxic people, even family, isn't easy. But it's necessary, for ourselves and for the people we love. And that's the end of Melissa and Allison's story. Now, I've got a question for you. Was Melissa justified in exposing Barbara and Karen's behavior to the entire family, or should she have handled the situation more privately? Is public confrontation ever the right approach when dealing with toxic family members? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your perspective could help others facing similar family conflicts. If this story resonated with you and you want to hear more like it, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring more of these real-life dramas to light. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.